In a year full of chaos, tire problems, and new winners abound, the 2022 NASCAR Cup Series Playoffs have been set, and we enter the final 10 races of the season with all sights set on the championship. 16 drivers will enter battle, only one will walk away with the title. Let's see who these combatants will be and pick a champion. Note that I'm discussing the drivers in order of the points reset, and yes, this is my attempt at a urinating tree haters guide video. We will see how it goes. Number 16, Austin Dillon, 2005 points. Well, you made it here. You won Daytona in the regular season finale to do it, despite all the shenanigans. I mean, somehow making it through the last big one right before the rain delay. 100 IQ wreck avoidance, or rather 5,000 IQ, but 100 rating. Everybody's clamoring for Martin Truex Jr. to be here and not you, and to some extent, they're kind of right, but they're also kind of wrong, because again, Martin Truex Jr. had 26 races where he could have gotten at least one win. Came close, but coming close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. He didn't get it done. You did. Also want to throw out there 4 of Austin's top 5 best finishes this year, winning Daytona, 2nd at Auto Club and Talladega, and 3rd at Martinsville, are better than all 5 of MTJ's top 5 best finishes this season. So, yeah, let that one settle for you. Not expecting much out of him, but then again, if he had a few more laps, he could have beaten Kevin Harvick at Darlington in 2020. So, number 15, Alex Bowman, 2006 points. Compared to 2021 this season, or even compared to 2020 for that matter, this season has been a downgrade. Has 1 win compared to 3 last year, and say what you will about how Bowman gets his wins. The one he got this year seemed pretty divisive, but at the same time, 5 DNFs, only completing 88.7% of laps in the regular season, which is right at the bottom of the playoff grid. 4th best equipment at Hendrick, just saying. Now, crew chief Greg Ives is stepping away after this year, and a lot of the blame has been put on him for some of his decision-making, so we'll see if he can rectify that in the playoffs or if Bowman's season will end early in that regard. Austin Cindric, 14th, 2006 points. The Daytona 500 champion. And I lied. He actually has the lowest percentage, of laps completed at 86.1. But 5 top 5s, 8 top 10s, 4 DNFs, just has been in situations where he falls several laps down in races and can't recover, unfortunately. But winning the Daytona 500 in your rookie season is a big deal. And nobody's going to take that away from him. So whatever happens the rest of the way, he has that to look back on and can go into 2023 looking to repeat as Daytona 500 champion and possibly improve for more. We shall see. 13th, Daniel Suarez, 2007 points. He finally did it. He finally gets a Cup Series victory. After all those years at JGR, after those years at Stewart-Haas, after having to spend a year with Gaunt Brothers Racing and missing the Daytona 500, he gets the job done, pulls off the win at Sonoma. He has signed a 1-year extension with Trackhouse, which was the plan all along, so we'll see how that goes. But one of the things for him, and it falls with some other drivers too, is bad luck often found him before his Sonoma win and occasionally after. Inconsistent finishes have put him in this spot where he's lower in the playoff grid after the reset, but he has speed. And if he can put it together, maybe Sonoma won't be his only win this season. He's certainly going to have to get consistent if he wants to get out of the first round. 12th, Chase Briscoe, 2009 points. Another driver getting his first career Cup win this season, and there's been several of them to do it. He scored his win at Phoenix, beating out both Russ Chastain and Tyler Reddick, who finished 2nd and 3rd respectively, and went on to get wins themselves. For Briscoe, 3 top 5s, 4 top 10s, so not the greatest, and average finish of 19th. But he only has 3 DNFs, which is on the lower end of things, and, he's looked all right, but most finishes he's had in the regular season are either in the teens and 20s. And his last top 5 finish this year was the 14th race of the season when he finished the Coke 600 in 4th. Also, he cost Tyler Reddick what could have been his first win at Bristol Dirt, though he, of course, went on to get, 2 wins later on, so is what it is. But for Briscoe, you got to get top 10 finishes, bud, or you're going out early. Best of luck to you. Kyle Busch, 11th, 2,010 points. Well, this has been quite an interesting season for you. You have a win, which came at the aforementioned Bristol Dirt, thanks to Briscoe sending it into Reddick. 6 top 5s and 13 top 10s are nothing to shake your head at, but 4 DNFs, not that great. And the second half of the season, compared to the first half, oh boy. So first half of the season, 11.9 average finish. Second half, 19.2, including that stretch where he just could not finish any higher than the top 20. Also, he's without a ride for 2023 following the announcement of M&M's ending sponsorship following the season. And if that's not bad enough, he gets DQ'd out of second along with his teammate Denny Hamlin, who won back at Pocono. So for Kyle, regardless of what happens in the offseason and where he goes, he's just looking to finish the season out with a bang. Maybe his 3rd championship. But he's going to need to figure shit out real quick if he's going to pull that one off. We shall see. And going from one JGR driver to another, 10th, Christopher Bell, 2,011 points. He got it done at New Hampshire Motor Speedway, my home track. And considering that he came up short to Eric Almirola there last year and has won the last 3 Xfinity Series races he's participated in there, you had to think he was going to get a Cup win at some point. It just so happened to be this year. 7 top 5s and 14 top 10s. Looks great. 95.4% of the laps completed. That looks great. He could have an underdog run in this year's playoffs, potentially, depending on how things play out. Remember, he got his first Cup win last year on a road course. If he can make the second round, the Charlotte Roval is right there. He could steal a win, especially from Hendrick guys like Larson and Eliot. But he also opened the season with 4 sub-top 20 finishes in the first 5 races, and then only had 2 such finishes from the 6th race at Coda to the 15th race at Gateway. So he knows how to turn it up. He just needs to turn it up at the right time. Will he? We'll see. 9th, Kevin Harvick, 2,012 points. I mean, do not give Kevin Harvick momentum because the 2 wins he got late in the season are going to help him tremendously. To go from a guy fighting to even get into the playoffs to having back-to-back wins to go along with 7 top 5s and 13 top 10s and 96.7% of the laps completed, which is one of the higher percentages of the entire field. Sucks to have 5 DNFs, but the biggest thing for him was breaking the 60-plus race winless streak, dating all the way back to the first round of the playoffs in 2020. So, I mean, the crazier thing is he could have won sooner when he finished second to Hamlin at Richmond back in the spring. And then he gets it done at Richmond right after winning Michigan. And the tracks that we have in the first round, Darlington, for example, Kansas, just those 2 alone, he can win those tracks. He's won at Darlington. He finished second to Logano in 2020 at Kansas when, the rest of the round kind of sucked for him. But regardless, he could go on a run. Will he? That's up to him. 8th, Tyler Reddick, 2012 points. He got not 1, but 2 wins this season. His first career wins in the Cup Series. And could have had 3 if not for Briscoe at Bristol Dirt. But the thing for him is average start of 9.9, average finish of 16.7, 5 DNFs. Not good. Both of his wins have come on road courses, which is solid, but we only have 1 road course in the playoffs, and that's in round 2. However, he does have speed more often than not, and just needs to keep the car together. And if not for finishing top 10 or a few times between 11th and 20th, 4 times. Other finishes were 21st or worse, with 6 finishes outside the top 30. More often than not, through no fault of his own. So he has to keep the car together, or the car needs to keep itself together, but he can get the job done. And think about it. Homestead is in the 3rd round. If he can get there, he has a great shot to win and put himself in the Final 4. I mean, he's won Homestead before. He won 2 Xfinity championships when that was the season finale. We'll see. Ryan Blaney, 7th, 2013 points. Well, I'm just going to say it, Ryan. You are damn fucking lucky Kurt Busch got a concussion back at Pocono. And I'm not saying that as in, haha, Kurt got a concussion. No. Not the case at all. Just ask Dale Jr. Concussions fucking suck. But the thing is, if Kurt doesn't get concussed at Pocono, there's only 1 spot left in the playoffs for a driver to get in on points. And because Austin Dillon won Daytona, Blaney would have been knocked out if not for Kurt being knocked out. Because 23XI pulled back on his medical waiver. Because they knew, and he knew, he wasn't going to be able to race the first couple of races in the playoffs. So for Blaney, he's really fucking lucky. Really lucky. No wins on the season. 8 top 5s and 12 top 10s is pretty good. But again, no wins. He needs to win. And if he can, he should be alright. If he can't, well, yeah, we'll just leave it at that. 6th, Denny Hamlin, 2013 points. Going from one guy who is winless on the season but lucky enough to make the playoffs to a guy who's lucky to have 2 wins on the season because holy hell, what the hell was this season for Denny Hamlin? I mean, nothing but bad luck, Ross Chastain beef, cars not holding together. He has 2 wins, sure, but, like, what happened? He was in the 20s in points most of the season, and towards the end only was able to get into the top 16 overall. Basically after the Indy Road Course. Not to mention getting DQ'd out of his 3rd win of the season at Pocono alongside his teammate Kyle Busch. No top 10s until his Richmond win, 7 races in. Then didn't get another until Kansas, the 13th race of the season with a top 5 finish. Denny is lucky he has 2 wins. 5 top 5s, 7 top 10s, average finish of 19th, 6 DNFs. If he doesn't have a win, he shouldn't be here right now. But he is, and he needs to get it together real quick. Although it would be funny if Denny just won the championship, because why the fuck not? Dear God. 5th, William Byron, 2014 points. Well, I mean, being in the top 5 in points in the playoffs, you're pretty lucky, to be honest. Yes, you have 2 wins. Would have had 3 if not for Joey Logano at Darlington. But it was because of Logano punting you at Darlington, you kind of lost your mojo. And you haven't necessarily been the same since. 4 top 5s and 5 top 10s? Not good. Average start of 14.3, average finish of 18.1? Meh. 6 DNFs? Not good. You're basically this high in points off of the playoff points you get from the 2 wins and the few stage wins you've had. And you've not had a top 10 finish outside from 9th at Sonoma since winning at Martinsville in the 8th race of the year, with 5 finishes outside the top 30 and all but 2 finishes in that span being between 11th and 20th. And he had been in the top 6 in points from his Atlanta win to Kansas. I wouldn't be surprised if Byron falls out early because of this. Unless he can turn it on and take revenge at Darlington, he might be going out early, which is sad. 4th, Kyle Larson, 2019 points. 2 wins, 10 top 5s, 13 top 10s, average start of 18.1, average finish of 14.3, which is not good. 60 DNFs, even worse. And Larson hasn't been the same since he was last year. Maybe it's a little bit of a slump, sure. But last year, he just comes out of his suspension, comes out of the gate and shows us all what we were missing when he was stuck at Chip Ganassi Racing. This year, it's been a bit of a step back. But then again, outside of the 6 DNFs and his 29th place lead lap finish at COTA, he's looked very good otherwise. Also, both of his wins have come at the expense of Chase Elliott, so we'll have to see how that plays out, because the third time might not be the charm. But for Larson to repeat as champion, he's going to need to turn it on and turn it on quickly. He'll be fine in the first round, but second round and beyond, that's anybody's guess. Russ Chastain, third, 20 points. 2 wins at COTA and Dega, his first Cup wins, of his career. Runners up at Phoenix, both Atlanta races as well. He's had a pretty damn solid season. 10 top 5s and 14 top 10s to go along with the 2 wins. Granted, his average start and finish are around the mid-teens, and 5 DNFs is not great either. But being this high in points for the playoffs, pretty damn good. You just have to hope Denny Hamlin doesn't try to go after you again. Or if he does, that you just kind of troll him out of the way. Because I don't think what happened back at Pocono was necessarily on purpose. At the time I did, but now not so much. Hamlin's probably not done with you. And if not him, look at guys like Eliot and whatnot. They might want your ass too, so it's going to be a minefield out there. Hope you survive. Also, get off this late season slump you've been on since Pocono. Come on now. Get off it, will ya? Second, Joey Logano, 25 points. 2 wins, 1 at the expense of William Byron. Also 1 at a new Cup debuting track in Gateway, which seems to be a theme with him. 7 top 5s, 12 top 10s, 3 DNFs, 98% of the laps completed, which is the most of anybody this year, especially in the playoff field. So he consistently finishes, which is good. But he started out the year with 4 straight sub-top 20 finishes, followed by 4 straight top 10 finishes, plus 12 at Daytona to close out the regular season. So by started, I meant finished. Regardless, we know what Logano can do in the playoffs. He only usually gets 1 or 2 wins in the regular season, but turns it on when it matters. The question is, can he do that again and potentially earn himself his second championship? But in order to do that, he's gonna have to get past the regular season champion, number 1, Chase Elliott, 2,040 points. 4 wins, 1 of them being Mickey because the top 2 guys got DQ'd back at Pocono. But regardless, 4 wins, 10 top 5s, 17 top 10s, average start of 9.8, average finish of 10.5, 2 DNFs, wicked consistent, with only 1 sub top 15 finish, 26th at Auto Club through the first 12 races. Then he had 3 finishes outside the top 25 in the middle of the season, including one of his only 2 DNFs at Charlotte, the other being the Daytona regular season finale, of course. But his worst finish after Charlotte was 16th at the Indy Road Course. And he's finished 5 straight races at either first or second from Nashville to Pocono. So he is definitively the championship favorite. And if he can pull it off, maybe it proves that 2020 wasn't a fluke and wasn't a Mickey championship, as many people like to meme it on. But his pit crew needs to keep their shit together in order for that to happen. Predictions. So, the round of 16. Darlington, Kansas, Bristol. Darlington, Kevin Harvick. Kansas, Tyler Reddick. Bristol, Kyle Larson. Chase Elliott, Joey Logano, Ross Chastain, William Byron, Denny Hamlin, Ryan Blaney, Kyle Busch, Daniel Suarez, and Alex Bowman somehow advance. Christopher Bell, Chase Briscoe, Austin Cindric, Austin Dillon fall out. As far as Briscoe, Cindric, and Dillon go, not a lot of momentum, even with Dillon's win at Daytona. Probably going to hurt him. As for Bell, I did say he could go on a run, but there's always that surprise that goes out early. Bell might be it. Round of 12. Texas, Ross Chastain. Talladega, a non-playoff winner driver, Chris Buescher. And Charlotte Roval, Chase Elliott. Because, of course, it's a road course. In, Kyle Larson, Joey Logano, Tyler Reddick, Denny Hamlin, Kevin Harvick, Daniel Suarez, William Byron, Ryan Blaney, Kyle Busch, Alex Bowman, out. Byron manages to survive the first round, can't get out of the second. Blaney doesn't get a win, and, well, you're done. Kyle Busch, well, best of luck to you in the offseason. And Bowman, you're lucky to get out of the first round, but you're not going any farther. Round of 8. Hey, Martin Truex Jr. finally gets a win at Las Vegas. Doesn't necessarily matter because he's not in the playoffs, but hey, a win's a win. As for Homestead and Martinsville, Homestead goes to Tyler Reddick, and at Martinsville, despite everything Denny Hamlin tries to pull, Ross Chastain wins, and Hamlin, by proxy, does not advance. Eliot and Logano will. Larson, Hamlin, Harvick, Suarez out. Suarez, a deep run, absolutely incredible. Harvick didn't think he'd be able to pull this off, but the 2 wins helped. And then getting another one in the first round helped as well. And for Larson and Hamlin, well, better luck next year. So the championship 4, Ross Chastain, Chase Elliott, Joey Logano, Tyler Reddick. My prediction, once again, Denny Hamlin will try everything he can to prevent Ross Chastain from putting himself in a spot to even win the championship, even though he is in the Final 4 and Denny is not. But Ross Chastain will 5,000 IQ his way, and troll Denny Hamlin as well, into a championship victory. Chase Elliott finishes second in the Final 4, of the race among those battling for this title, pretty much off a pit road miscue. You had the 5,000 IQ move back at Martinsville in 2020. Well, karma's going to be like, yeah, you owe us one for that, and you're going to get screwed in the championship 4. Logano finishes 3rd. Reddick finishes 4th in the standings. So, how bad will these age? We'll see. But Ross Chastain, you've got a massive target on your back. But as the old saying goes, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. In this case, what doesn't kill you might allow you to win you a championship. We'll have to see what happens. Just remember the old adage, don't get eliminated. Catch y'all next time.